Thank you for joining, everyone. I'm going to give folks a few more minutes to come into the room. I didn't realize that I was going to be accepting people into the room, and so I want to make sure that folks who arrive like a minute or two late don't miss out. So I'm just going to hang out for a minute. If you have a yoga block that you would like to use, that's great. If you have a large book that you would like to use instead of a yoga block, that's also great. This is an all levels flow class, so you don't need to have any equipment. But I always encourage folks to work within their normal practice. So if your normal practice includes a yoga block, a strap, a bolster, then please feel free to bring those things and to use them. So for those just entering, like I said, I'm going to probably wait until about 8:03 or 4 before we get started, just because I want to make sure that folks that are trickling in or having trouble logging in get the opportunity to join us this evening. And since I do have to let people into the room, I don't want to get started and then have a bunch of people in the waiting room.
Questions I want you all to ask him at any point in time. So
I'm going to give folks about one more minute to settle in, to come in if they are trickling in. If you are just joining us, thank you for joining this all-level flow class. I'm excited to teach with you tonight. I shared with the group already, but if you have a yoga block that you'd like to use, I encourage and welcome it. If not, a large textbook that you probably paid way too much money for is also an acceptable choice, a dictionary, an encyclopedia. You can use any of those things as a yoga block. You do not have to have one. This is not a requirement for the course. We are just, if you use one in your regular practice and you'd like to use one now, then that's great, and I encourage you to do so. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and if we have anybody else come and try to join, just adjust my camera. Gosh, I really feel my age sometimes when I'm working now that everybody's virtual. All right. So again, thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Julia Duff. I work in the Office of Student Rights and Responsibilities here at GW, and I'm also a licensed yoga teacher. And I'm so happy to be able to share this experience with you all. I recognize that this is not the semester that you probably envisioned, and that comes with a lot of stress. And so hopefully tonight we can flow, we can forget about that for a little bit. And then maybe you'll think of some of these postures or breathing techniques as you carry on your semester, and maybe they'll be helpful to you as you begin to navigate what this new type of learning looks like. So this evening, we're gonna start in a comfortable seated position. So you can sit cross-legged, you can sit on your knees, anywhere that you feel comfortable. We're actually gonna start with something called Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, which is a breathing technique. This is something that I highly encourage if you are looking to engage your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, just trying to balance out the sides of your brain. So, we're going to start by coming into something called Vishnu Mudra. Vishnu Mudra is when you take your hand, so take your right hand and take your index finger and your middle finger and bring them down. So your hand now looks like this. Some people find this to be really uncomfortable. And if that is the case, you can always find yourself in something called Surfer Mudra. So you can just do your pinky and your thumb if you're not comfortable using your ring finger. This can be a really uncomfortable hand position for some people. So you're gonna find that comfortable seated position. You're gonna take your mudra and bring it up to your mouth, right in front of your mouth. What you're going to be doing is using your thumb and either your pinky or your ring finger to close and open alternate nostrils. It's called alternate nostril breathing. Like I said, this is really useful for engaging your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, starting to balance out the sides of the brain, bringing oxygen in. So we're going to bring our mudra up to our mouth. And we're gonna start by closing our right nostril. So take your thumb and close your right nostril and exhale all the breath out of your left nostril. Now we're gonna inhale through that same left nostril, hold, switch, and exhale through the right nostril. So if you're following along with me, you're gonna inhale through the right nostril, hold, switch, exhale through the left nostril. I'm going to start counting us into a 4 count for our breathing. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, switch, exhale, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in through the right nostril, 2, 3, 4. Pause and switch. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhaling through the left nostril, 2, 3, 4. Hold and switch. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. I invite you to take 2 or 3 more rounds in your own breathing. Starting to feel the engagement of both sides of the brain as you bring oxygen up through the spine. And on your next exhale, you can go ahead and let your mudra come down. And again, I welcome you. This is a 50-minute all-level Vinyasa Flow yoga class. This class is designed for anyone and everyone. There are going to be times that I will cue a more advanced posture. And if that is not in your practice and you are not interested in pursuing that this evening, please feel free to modify. I encourage you to practice within your own abilities, especially since I can't be there with you to help give any corrections or see how you're doing. So I encourage you to find what's relaxing for you. We're going to stay seated and do a couple of seated movements before we get into our flow. So we're going to start with a seated cat and cow. So first we're going to come into cow. So when you inhale, bring your chest forward, look up, start to arch the back. Exhale to cat, round the spine, look down. Inhale, looking up, arch the back, start to feel a little movement in your spine. Exhale, round the spine, looking down. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, look at your beautiful ceiling. Think about your upstairs neighbors. Exhale, round the back. Your next inhale, arms come up overhead. And on an exhale, right hand falls to the side. And take a lean over your right side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, move a little bit deeper. Inhale, lengthen. Exhaling, move a little bit deeper. Your next inhale is going to bring you back up to center. Exhale, left arm comes down, reaching over the left side. Inhale to find length in your spine. Exhale moves you a little deeper. Inhaling for length. Exhaling, moving a little deeper into your side. Stretching out the side body. Come up. If you are sitting cross-legged, go ahead and switch the order of your feet. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, take a gentle twist. Left hand comes to right knee. Right hand should be right behind your butt. So if you're familiar with where your pelvic floor is, you should try to get your hand as close to that as possible. And take a gentle twist. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, we're going to take a gentle twist in the other direction. Hand behind the sacrum. Right hand, left knee. Gentle twist. Inhaling, come back up. Take any last movements for the spine if you want to stretch out any other way before we get going in our flow. Your spine should feel a little bit warm and lubricated. Go ahead and find your way up to a standing position. In your standing position, we are going to start with a couple of sun salutations. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up to lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Stay here for one inhale. On an exhale, come back to plank. Stay here for an inhale. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, back to the floor. We're going to move into a child's pose. If you're not familiar with child's pose, you can bring your knees in or you can have them wide. And find that space of comfort and relaxation. Arms are reaching out in front, head comes to the mat. Child's pose is always here for you. So throughout class today, if something doesn't feel right in your body, bring it back to child's pose, take a few breaths, listen to what your body is telling you. Rejoin us when you're ready, knowing what works within your body today. One more inhale in child's pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. First down dog of the class, possibly first down dog of the day. Take a moment to pedal out your feet, allowing the backs of your legs to start to engage. Feel that stretch. Leaning into one heel and now the other. Welcoming your body into this beautiful posture of restoration. Downward dog is also always here for you. If you need to come back and recenter, come back to downward dog. Inhale, we're going to prepare to step forward. Exhale, we step to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to plank. Holding here. We're going to hold here for a couple breaths. Start to think about your core, your engagement through all the muscles in your body. Take one more inhale, and on the exhale, you can do knees, chest, chin again, or you can come into your chaturanga, cobra, or upward facing dog. Exhale, you can either move to child's pose or you can move to downward facing dog. Take another couple of deep breaths in down dog. Down dog is a pose that really is there to help you center. It's an inversion, which a lot of people don't think about. Get the blood up to your head. Give your heart a rest. These last few months have been really hard on our hearts. So inversions are really healthy in order to help sort of regulate some of the emotions that we've been feeling. Take one more inhale in downward dog. And exhale back to the top of your mat. Inhale halfway up to lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, stand, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, stepping back to plank. Staying here for a couple rounds of breath. Think about keeping a flat line, engaging your core. One more inhale. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. And one more inhale. Exhale, top of your mat. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale to find mountain pose, Tadasana. Your mountain pose should be strong. Your feet should be even with one another, about hips distance apart. Hips facing the top of your mat. Arms reaching down beside you with your palms facing forward. This is your mountain pose. This is your pose of strength, of redemption. Don't be afraid to take up space in your mountain pose. This is the moment of your class and of your day that you can unapologetically stand tall and claim your space. We're going to take an inhale. You can close your eyes. You can find a drishti in front of you. And exhale, releasing tension. We're going to inhale into a chair pose. Arms come up overhead, knees bend, flat back. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up for length. Exhale, take your flow. Knees, chest, chin, chaturanga, upward facing dog. Meet me in downward facing dog. So throughout this class, I will ask you to take your flow, or I will give you an option to take your flow. Your flow is the sequence between forward fold and downward dog. You can knees, chest, chin, you can chaturanga, you can cobra, you can upward dog, you can move through child's pose, or you can just go to downward dog. I cannot see you. Nobody else can see you. So this really should feel what's good for you in your body. All right, meeting in downward dog. On an inhale, lifting your right leg up behind you. Nice stretch. On an exhale, bring that foot through into a low lunge. And go ahead and drop your left leg. So left knee meets the mat,
And you can come up, hands on your thigh. We're gonna stay here for a minute and bring our hips forward and back, and just start to feel how this is in your hips. You start to stretch out that back hip and start to settle in. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, your left hand goes forward, your right hand goes back into a twist. Inhale, up overhead. Exhale, find that same twist. Left hand forward, right hand back. One more time, up overhead. And exhale to find your gentle twist. Your next inhale, arms come up overhead. Reach back, open up the heart. Exhale, hands come down. Move into your low lunge. We're gonna come up into a high lunge. Arms reach up overhead. Again, finding space in your back hip. Thinking about if you had headlights attached to each of your hips, they should be facing directly forward right now. This is a lunge, so your back heel is still up off the ground. Meeting here, we're gonna take that same twist. So on the exhale, your left hand comes forward, right hand goes back. Find that twist. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, find the twist, starting to wring out your intestines. Get all the bad juju out. Inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale to find your twist. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Allow your back foot to drop. You may need to move it up a few inches and find your warrior one. Your hips should still be facing forward. Those headlights are still going the same direction. Back foot is at a 45-degree angle facing the front left corner of your mat. Warrior one. Arms can meet, hands up at the top, and reach back. Open the heart. Exhale, come back up to center. Hands clasped behind your back. Reach back and find humble warrior. Right shoulder goes in to meet the right knee. Arms shoot up toward the sky. Let your head be heavy. Start to let it all go. Your next inhale, coming back up to warrior one. Back foot steps up to meet the front. Back to your chair pose. You're gonna stay here. Bringing your prayer hands to your heart. They shoot forward, and then your left elbow hooks onto your right knee to find a twist. This is not accessible to everyone. If this does not feel like your space today, you can simply twist. You can open the arms up, or if you are down here hooked, you can also open the arms up. We want to allow the spine to twist, the intestines to wring out, getting all the bad juices moving, breathing in positivity. On your next inhale, coming back to your chair pose and forward fold. This is a great opportunity to take your elbows in each hand to your forward fold and just move side to side, enjoying the space that you have. Notice what you notice. Does one side feel more spacious than the other? Can you bend one knee and bend the other? How does that feel on each side? Inhale, halfway up for length. Exhale, forward fold. Move through your flow. We meet in downward facing dog. Downward dog. Left foot goes up and back and steps through to a high lunge. Back knee comes down to meet the mat. We take a moment to bring our hips out and back, starting to find space in that right hip crease. Notice if you feel that your left hip is a little bit more open than your right, or vice versa. A lot of people feel like one is more loose than the other. Settle in. Inhale, arms come up overhead. On the exhale, we're going to take that twist. Right hand comes forward, left hand goes back, and we twist open. Inhale, both arms come up overhead. Exhale, we find a twist. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, we find a twist. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Bring your arms down and move into your runner's lunge, and then you can meet me in high lunge. Staying here, centering your hips, thinking about all those wonderful headlights pointing forward. Inhale, we're going to move through that same twist. Arms come up. Exhale to the twist. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, we twist. Inhale, arms come up overhead. And exhale, we twist. Inhale, arms up overhead, reach back, open the heart. Exhale, warrior one. Back foot steps in, finds a 45-degree angle to the right front corner of the mat. Arms remain up overhead, finding your warrior one. Stay here. You can bring your hands down to your hips and feel, are they both pointing forward? Do you need to bring that right hip forward a little bit? Bring the left hip back to make them even. Doesn't matter how deep you can go. Nobody can see you. Inhale, back. Exhale, humble warrior. Left shoulder comes into the left knee. Arms shoot up the back. Start to feel those arms moving toward the sky. Enjoy your humble warrior. Inhale, coming back up to standing. Exhale, back foot comes up to meet the front. Finding chair pose. Chair pose is grounding. It allows you to reconnect with the earth. Let's gravity do the work. We're going to take that twist. Hands come to prayer. Prayer shoots forward. Right hand hooks to left knee. You can stay there, or you can allow the twist to open up. If that's not in your practice today and you just want to find a twist, you can open your arms. Do what feels good in your body. One more inhale. Exhale, hands come up, find your chair pose. Sink a little deeper. Back stays flat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up for length. Exhale, move through your flow. Meet me in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, right leg comes back and open the hips. Can bend your back knee. If Wild Thing is in your practice, you can move there now. And bring the right foot forward. Move into Warrior Two. Warrior Two. Your back foot, your left foot should be parallel to the back of the mat. Your right foot should be perpendicular, should be pointing straight forward. Arms coming out to either side. Take a moment to think about if your body is in a straight line right now from head to pelvis. Shouldn't be like this, shouldn't be laying back. Trying to make a straight line right from the tip of your head all the way down through your pelvis. Arms go out side to side. Gaze comes over the middle finger of the right hand. Now turn your head. Is your back arm going straight back? Don't let it go from side to side. Keep it straight behind you. Warrior Two. On your next exhale, reverse your warrior. Left arm comes down the back leg. Right arm comes up overhead. Take that side twist. Really stretching the side body. This should feel good. It's one of my favorite postures. One more inhale. On the exhale, find side angle lunge. Right forearm comes onto the right thigh. Left arm comes up overhead. Start to reach to the front of your mat. Inhale, grow a little longer from tips of your fingers through your toes. Exhale, move a little deeper in your side angle lunge. Your next inhale, you can come back up to Warrior Two. Reverse the warrior. Reach back. Exhale, side angle lunge. Inhale, back up to Warrior Two. Straighten the front leg. This is where a block is really helpful. You can take your block, you can stand it up on the tall side, the short side, whatever side feels good. So it will be on the inside of your right foot. Legs straight, feet stay the same. Back foot stays parallel. Front foot keeps jutting out to the front. Arms out. Slowly bring your right fingertips as far forward as you can get them, and then bend into your triangle pose. The goal here is to have a straight line from your left hand fingertips to your right hand fingertips. You want your shoulders to be in a straight line, your hips to be even. Enjoy that triangle pose. Take one more breath. On your next exhale, you can move back up and come back into Warrior Two. We're going to cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot. Turn it back into a lunge. And meet back through your flow in downward facing dog. Flow here Really important. It's the time that our mind doesn't have to think as much because it's something that we just do over and over again. Meeting in downward facing dog. Left leg comes up and open the hip. Can bend that knee. Hip stacks on top of hip. If Wild Thing is in your practice, you can move there now. Exhale, bring that foot through. And meet me in Warrior Two with your left foot to the front. Taking a moment, checking all of your signs or all of your limbs where they're supposed to be. Is that gaze out? Front of the left hand, middle finger. Sink a little deeper. Your next inhale, reverse your warrior. Reaching that left arm overhead and back. Exhale. We bring it around to the side angle lunge. Left arm comes to the thigh, right arm overhead. Side angle lunge. Inhale. Back. Reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle lunge. Back up to Warrior Two. Straighten that front foot. Move your block if you're using one. Reach out over your front foot and bring it into Trikonasana. Triangle pose. Head can look up to the sky. Shoulders even. Think about the shoulder blades moving away from your ears. You want to keep a long neck. It's just as important as stretching the leg is stretching the neck. One more exhale, and on the inhale, we come back up and we meet in Warrior Two. Take one more breath. And on the exhale, cartwheel your hands down, move through your flow. We meet in Downward Facing Dog. Your next inhale, right foot goes to the sky and steps through. Staying in your high lunge, exhale, both feet meet at the top. Tadasana, mountain pose. Taking a moment, claim your space. We're gonna move into a rooting pose, tree. Taking your right foot, can put it up like a kickstand. So you wanna move your hip so that your right knee is facing out to your right side. You can kickstand the foot. This is tree pose. You can stay here. If you'd like to move a little deeper into this posture, you can bring your foot either to your calf or you can bring it up a little bit higher. Just don't put it on your knee. Once you've found where you want your feet to be, again, right knee should be pointing out to the right side. Left foot stays grounded. Bring your hands to prayer. Think about rooting down all of your chakras in line, rooting down through that left foot. And stay here, or if you would like to release your branches. Trees have branches. Branches sway, they move, they go every which way. but the tree stays planted. We might face storms. Right now, we're facing a storm in our lives for many of us, but the tree will stay planted. If you have your branches out, go ahead and bring them back in. Come back to prayer. Stay here for one more breath. Now you can stay in tree, or if hand to foot is in your practice, allow your right hand to grab your right foot, bring it out to the side. Now you can stay there, or you can stay in your tree. And stay here for 2 more breaths. The exhale, slowly lower. Finding tree on the other foot. Take your left foot, point it, bring it out to the side. Left knee goes straight out. Can keep your foot like a kickstand. This is tree. You can stay here. If you want to move a little deeper into the pose, and slowly start to bring your foot either to your calf, bring it up a little higher. Once you've found the tree that works for you, hands come to prayer. Extend your branches. If mudras are in your practice, you take mudras. No one has their camera on, but I imagine there are beautiful trees practicing with us right now. Every tree is different. The trees in the forest don't look at the other trees and think, my tree looks different from their tree, so it's not as good. Every tree is beautiful. It is exactly what it's supposed to be. It's exactly how it is supposed to look and doing what it needs to do to be part of the forest. Hands to feet is in your practice, and you want to go there now. Left hand grabs left foot out to the side. Stay there for 2 breaths. If not, stay in your tree. Hands come back to prayer. 1 more breath. Hands to feet, come back down. And we meet in mountain pose. Strong. Close your eyes. Take 1 deep inhale. Exhale. Forward fold. Hands can come underneath of your feet, or you can grab back behind the shins to find a deeper forward fold. This should be the deepest forward fold of your practice. Your legs are warm, they're ready. From here, we're going to move to the ground. So go ahead and come forward and then move into a comfortable seated position. You're going to bring your feet out directly in front of you into staff pose. So sit up nice and tall, feet come out in front of you, toes are pointed. Remove the block out of the way. Arms come up overhead and continue that forward fold. If you can't reach your feet, reach where you reach. Grab onto your shins, your knees, your toes. Grab around your toes. Try to think about having a flat back in this moment. Keep it flat. Try to bring your navel in. Head goes toward the knees. The next exhale, come back up. You're going to meet in butterfly pose. For butterfly, bring both of your heels and your toes together. Inhale, sit straight up. And exhale, slowly fold over your feet. Again, thinking about having that flat back. Navel to spine, slowly moving forward. Head moving toward the toes. Take another inhale here. Exhale, sit back up. Keep your feet and your legs exactly where they are. I have to move a little bit, but keep them where they are. Lift up onto your hands so your hips come up off the ground. Move your hips a little closer to your feet. This should feel like a different sensation in the inside of your hips. Now try again. You're probably not going to go as deep. That's okay. You're stretching a different part of your hip now. Legs are going straight out to the side. Fold over. Coming back up. Move your hips back so you get a little bit of a diamond shape in your butterfly. So now I have a diamond in my legs. I'm going to take my hands, I'm going to put them underneath of my shins and move into turtle. Your hands should be coming underneath of your shins. They can come out to meet where about your feet are, keeping a flat back. This is going to stretch your low back. It's going to stretch the back side of your hips. Moving up the parasympathetic, the sympathetic nervous system. Think about your breath. Inhale. Exhale, come out of turtle. We're going to sit on our back. So go ahead and find a nice spot laying down. Feet, hug them in, knees to chest. You can rock side to side. This is a good time to take any final posture that you need in your practice, whether that's happy baby. You can take a shoulder stand if that's in your practice. If you take shoulder stand, you can also take plow. One more breath. Move at your pace. Feet to the ground, legs bent, knees going up toward the ceiling. Go ahead and drop your knees over to the right into a gentle twist. If it's in your practice to bring your left foot over and twist it around, you can do that to go a little deeper. You can stay right where you are. This is also a good side stretch. Nice gentle twist. Breathing life back into that spine. We did a lot of back opening, heart opening, spinal work today. Be kind to your spine. I have a terrible spine from years of abusing it. It's not fun for me. Legs come back up to center. Feet on the ground and slowly twist over to the other side. Take that gentle twist. When I was younger, I always used to try to get my back to crack at the end of class. It's not a good idea. Please don't do that. Personal experience. I have arthritis and I'm 27 years old. Take another breath here. Exhale. Legs come back. Take one final squeeze the knees into the chest. Make yourself a little tiny ball. Squeeze, 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 and legs go out to find your final resting place. You've made it, you've earned it, and you most certainly deserve it. Let's find our Shavasana. Since I am not using music today, I wanted to take this moment while you're laying in Shavasana to express to you my absolute gratitude for taking the time out of your day to bring a little bit of self-awareness and self-love into your heart. We are all competing for busyness. Whoever feels like they are the busiest, they think they're going to win a prize. I'm here to tell you that you don't win anything. Take a moment for yourself every day, even if it's just a moment. Take those inhales and exhales and remember who you are, what makes you happy, what brings you joy. If you can find a little bit of joy in every day, you're off to a great start. Take one more deep inhale, bringing awareness back to your body. I recognize that was not a very long Shavasana. Bringing awareness into your fingers and toes, start to wiggle a little bit. Your next exhale, roll over to your favorite side. You can make a little cradle for your head, a little pillow. Take another inhale. Slowly come back up to seated. We're going to end our class with one resounding Om. I encourage you to participate with me. It's A-O-Um. Inhale for a deep breath. Exhale everything out. Inhale for Om. Arms come up overhead. Meet in prayer. As you bring them down, bringing awareness, stopping at your third eye, bringing awareness to the thoughts that you think. Coming down, bringing awareness to your lips and the words that you speak. Hands to heart center, to the intentions that you make. The divine light in me honors and recognizes the divine light in you. Namaste. I thank you all for joining this class. GW late night events always bring something new, interesting, and fun. Again, my name is Julia Duff. I work in the Office of Student Rights and Responsibilities. I'm always happy to talk yoga or anything else. If you're a first-year student, I really do appreciate you joining us this evening. I welcome you to GW. I recognize this is not the experience you thought you were going to have. It's not the experience we thought you were going to have, but we're so glad that you're here. I hope you all have a wonderful semester. I wish you the best, and I thank you.